Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I am your host, Andrew, and today, as you saw from the beginning of the video, we are doing yet another installment of fancy gun spinning tricks. As with many of the recent gun spins that you've seen here on the channel, our revolver is going airborne, like you saw from the clip at the beginning of the video. However, you're not going to have much visibility when it is in the air. This one goes around the back and you don't see it until the very last moment, so muscle memory is a big key component to how you accomplish the gun spin that we're doing today. And if you follow me along, I hope you enjoy. The first thing we do with every fancy gun spinning trick is we place our revolver into half cock, we open the loading gate, and we check if the gun is empty, free of any live or used ammunition. We don't do these with loaded firearms, regardless if it's used or not. It does not matter. It is just a good habit to get into. So let me break this down as easy as I possibly can, because this one's still a work in progress for me. I did accomplish it a few times. However, it is still at about a 10% success rate for me. What we do, as you saw, around the back is you take your handgun like this, and your finger is outside of the trigger guard. And you remember all the previous gun spinning tricks where I tell you, flick the wrist, flick the wrist, flick the wrist. Well, that comes into play a little bit, because when you go behind your back, you are swiveling your arm almost as if it was a pendulum. And at the very last moment, give it a very minor flick. So when you're back here, give it a little flick, give it a little flick. Now the toughest part of this is you're going to want the gun, of course, out here, because you can just pluck it with your left hand. Unfortunately, that's easier said than done. It's probably going to be a little bit more like this when you flick it behind your back, and you're going to have to pluck it like an NFL wide receiver out of the air, you know, as if you were catching a football. So as you start right here and you bring your arm around, this is where the pendulum engages, and you give it a little flick up, which will send the revolver out like this, and you ultimately catch it with your left hand. And I usually, spin it back into the holster there. Make it look pretty cool. As you can see, the slow motion version of it is not going to be all that slow. We are just going to move into real time, and I'm going to try to give you the best view possible of what I'm doing. And we will actually turn to the side here in a little bit, this way, so you can see my arm in its full range of motion. But let's do it from the front, and then proceed to moving to this side so you can see the full range of movement. So like I said, revolver out in front of you, finger outside the trigger guard, pendulum motion, bring it out, give it a little flick. It doesn't rotate as pretty as one might like it to rotate in the air, but it was a 365-degree spin behind your back. I doubt you could knuckleball it where it just shoots out of your hand like this. Unless your name is R.A. Dickey or Tim Wakefield, I doubt that you have the ability to knuckleball a 6-gun. But that right there is the basis of what we're doing today. You could tidy it up a little bit, but you can see I never made any cuts in that last little bit there. That was the first try as I'm talking to you right now. So off to a good start. Let's see how this could get let's see how it could get worse. Like that, I'm 2 for 2. I've only done this 2 times as the camera has been recording. So just like that, I guess if you're gonna go 2 for 2, this was the day to do it. Let's move to the side, I guess. It's looking pretty simple. I guess I could try it one more time. 3 for 3. I guess I got the movement down. So we're going to move to the side so you can see my full range of motion. This is probably where everything is going to go south quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, like I said, you're going to get my full range of motion. I'll even move with my chest facing more towards the wall so you can see my arm and what it's doing as the gun is getting thrown into the air. There's not a lot of movement. Don't try to extend. Don't try to do too much because the revolver will start flipping all over the place in the air. And the chances of you catching it are slim and none. We are going to give it a try. You're going to see my full range of motion right here, and we will see how it goes. So like I said, gun in a firing position, finger outside of the trigger guard. You're coming back like this, pendulum, and give it a flick. Catch it with your left hand. Just like that. I don't know if you saw my full range of motion, and that wasn't the perfect 360 degrees around back up into a firing position, but I got it there. I spun it into the holster. It looks pretty cool. I appreciate everybody getting this far into the video. That was the around the back gun spin, or behind the back gun spin, or the blow your back out gun spin, whichever one you would prefer. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. I have a Patreon that is linked down in the description below, or it should be appearing at the bottom of your screen right now. If you enjoy the content that you see on St. Andrew TV and would like to continue to support it, please feel free to go over to the Patreon and give a donation. I do not take sponsorships or ads on this channel. But that is not to say to feel any obligation to go donate to the Patreon, only if your means allow you to do so. The content on YouTube will forever remain free. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late, but for those of you who have come across this video or this channel, maybe because you like Wild West content, maybe you just wanted to see a new fancy gun spinning trick and add it to your arsenal of fancy gun spinning tricks. Or maybe you just came back to see your old pal Andrew. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do.